Now, your first home is less likely to be your dream home, and I need you to put this at the back of your mind, okay? When you're deciding to buy or build your first house. And the reasons are very simple. I'll give you everything, so do well to stay through to the end of the video. Now, the first reason has to do with budget constraints. For the most part of it, when we are buying or building our first homes, we often do not even have enough money for it. You're doing it on a very tight budget, and when you have a tight budget, what this means is that you're forced to make tough choices, make compromises here and there. So if you're like me, who loves bigger kitchens, if it's your first home, you're less likely to be able to fulfill that because you're working with a very tight budget. So your first home might not have everything you've ever wanted, and it's completely normal. Remember, it's your starter home, it's not your dream home. And even though you might be forced to make these tough compromises, it's all part of the home ownership. So think of it as the first step on the ladder of home ownership. As you grow, definitely your finances will improve. Then you can upgrade to your dream home. So please, please, please don't stress if your first home isn't perfect. Remember, it's a journey, it's a process. Then you get your dream home.
Now, the second biggest lie you must have heard, or maybe you haven't heard, is that real estate is a risk-free investment. Real estate is not without risk. Life in itself is a risk. So how can you expect an investment to not have risk? Real estate markets can experience ups and downs, just like every other investment, just like you would find in the stock market. Anything can happen in a location. This can affect the value of properties or the demand for properties in that particular location. Okay, so there's a risk of investing in a wrong location at a wrong time, buying at the wrong price, investing in the wrong type of properties, mismanaging your investments, real estate investment scams. There's even the risk of missing investment opportunities because you probably didn't have the eye or the understanding to grab these investment opportunities when they were right in front of you. So these are all forms of risk in real estate. So do not let someone tell you that real estate hasn't got risk. Just like you would find in the stock market, just like you would find in crypto, real estate also has its own set of risk, except that the risk in real estate are medium. Now, the third lie you often hear is that real estate is a get-rich-quick scheme. If you're looking for a means to make money quickly, then real estate is not for you. Let's even break it down further. Okay, I have seen people make analysis on the basis of how much they invested into, for instance, an apartment for Airbnb purposes, and then they compare the monthly return they get into this to the money they had to invest into buying the apartments, and they get discouraged in the long run. Or people build apartments for rentals, and then they're looking at the yearly or the quarterly or monthly returns you're getting, and then they're discouraged. Real estate wouldn't give you money like crypto would. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. So if you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, the real estate isn't for you. Okay, recognize that real estate success is built through steady, consistent effort over time. The fourth lie I often hear has to do with all you need is just some money to get started in real estate, and so far as you have the money, you do not really need real estate education. You know, money is the most important. If you have the money, you can buy the apartment, you can buy the land, you can buy the houses. That's all that matters. Now, as a real estate broker, I have seen a lot of people make risky decisions and missed opportunities due to this. If you don't start well and you get started with a huge amount of money, a room filled with money, and you do not know the basics so far as investments are concerned, trust me, you end up losing a lot. You lose in terms of not being able to recognize good deals, not being able to recognize opportunities as and when they present themselves, just so you're able to, grab them, at the right time. And which is why you need to even work with trusted hands, have someone to guide you through the process, particularly when you're getting started. Of course, if you need assistance with all of this, I am always available to lend myself to help you navigate your way through so far as your investment decisions are concerned. How do you ensure your off-land property is finished to a high quality? Now, because off-land properties are sold at the time when they're being built, or they're yet to be completed, it's very difficult for you to know whether the developer has a good reputation or whether they're going to finish the project up to your expectation or as decided or as signed in the agreement, which is why you need a trusted real estate broker to hold your hand and guide you through the process, just so you're able to buy from the trusted real estate developer. If you need assistance with any of these, do get in touch with me. Tell me what your budget is and I'll help you find the best deals on the market. I know of off-land properties in cantonments, Labone, East Legon Hills, Ridge, all the prime locations. I'll help you make a decision on who to buy from. Okay, so how do you even determine if this developer is trustworthy? You may want to do a lot of research into how this developer has fared in their past projects. Do they deliver as expected? Do they have a good land title? If they do, how sure are you? What's the lease terms like? You may want to do your research into all of these before you buy an off-plan property. Again, all of this could be made a lot easier for you and very simple for you. Just get in touch with me. Let's talk about how you can own any of these apartments in these prime locations I have mentioned. Airports, Labone, Cantonment, East Legon, Ridge, all of them, mention them. Just get in touch with me and I'll help you find the best deals. Now, and the good thing about this is, a lot of these properties are often sold in very, very good locations. This is very good for the value of your property and your investment in the long run. Also, there are available amenities with these properties, and this is very good for you, particularly if you're an investor or you want to get started, buy some apartments and rent it out. It's a very good strategy for you to use because they're in prime locations, they come with amenities. So it makes the property very attractive for you to be able to, run your Airbnb rentals most effectively. Unlike a case where you want to do everything on your own. So are you going to be able to build a sports center? Are you going to be able to build a swimming pool? Are you going to be able to build a retail center? All of this is a lot. But in a case where you're buying off plan, okay, and because a property is in a very developed or a prime location and it comes with all of these amenities, that in itself impacts the value of your investment in the long run. So you could buy an off-land property now. For instance, this off-land property selling at Ridge, its starting price is at $80,000. So you just make a 30% deposit and then you're given a payment plan of 3 years to pay the rest. Now, if you buy this property at $80,000 now, there's a high likelihood that by the time the property would be completed, which is between a period of about 3 years, okay, within 3 years, a property you bought for about $85,000 could increase to about $100,000, $120,000. I have seen this before, okay, based on what's happening at the time. So here's a case where you didn't need a lot of capital to start with. You just needed to make a 30% deposit. You are given a flexible payment plan, to make some monthly deposits here and there to enable you cover up the full cost. But by the time you're even done paying, you've already gained some profit already. How sweet is this? How do you even get the right spot for an off-land property in Ghana? At the moment, Accra offers the best off-land property investment opportunities in Ghana. This is primarily due to the high demand for residential housing in the market. The population of Accra keeps growing every day, causing housing prices to rise. And this is expected to continue for some time as the real estate sector bubble continues. And so that's one thing you may want to pay critical attention to. How do you ensure your off-land property is finished to a high quality? Now, because off-land properties are sold at the time when they're being built or they're yet to be completed, it's very difficult for you to know whether the developer has a good reputation or whether they're going to finish the project up to your expectation or as decided or as signed in the agreement, which is why you need a trusted real estate broker to hold your hand and guide you through the process, just so you're able to buy from the trusted real estate developer. If you need assistance with any of these, do get in touch with me. Tell me what your budget is and I'll help you find the best deals on the market. Hi, by the end of this video, I'll give you enough information that will enable you make an informed decision on whether you should buy or rent where you live. We'll look into both sides of buying and renting. And in the latter part of the video too, I will talk about the best times to buy and the best times to rent. So do well to stay through to the end of the video. You do not want to miss anything. Let's begin with the advantages that come with renting where you live. When you decide to rent where you live, of course you enjoy financial flexibility. You're not buying the house, so you're not faced with having to raise a hefty amount needed for the full payment of the house, or even in a case where you decide to use a mortgage, you're not faced with raising the down payment needed for the payment of the house. All of this is off your shoulders because you have decided to rent where you live. All you need to do is to just raise a needed amount for, the period within which you intend to stay in the house, and you're good to go. Secondly, when you decide to rent where you live, you do not really have to worry about maintenance costs. Unlike home ownership, when it's your own house, where when there's a plumbing issue, you have to fix it yourself. When there's a landscaping issue, you have to fix it yourself. When there's a foundational issue, you have to fix it yourself. When you're renting where you live, a lot of the maintenance problems are not really on your shoulders. All you need to do as of when they come up is to call your property manager or your landlord or your landlady, and you're good to go. Again, when you decide to rent where you live, you get to enjoy flexibility and mobility. So renting is a good choice for individuals that love exploring different neighborhoods, or maybe it's about their jobs. Their jobs require that they move from one place to the other. It really would not make a lot of financial sense to want to buy where you live, because you're constantly moving from one country to the other here and there. Again, maybe your job too requires you to move, family situations, anything at all. It would require you to move from one place to the other every now and then. Then renting might be a perfect fit for you. Again,